The moment I unpause the game, Genesis drops to the floor. Okay? Crippled to the floor, and I'm shocked. Again, my jaw is agape. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another one of these really cute episodes that I have been doing recently. It is the turn of the Calientes this time around, and I feel like it's fitting that we are starting off with. Oh, hello, Julian. Julian Cook is actually the husband of Sabrina. Sabrina, what's her last name? Pleasant, thank you. All right, so anyways, it's really fitting that we're starting off looking at Brooklyn over here, Brooklyn Goth. Across the street we have the Goth Manor, and actually over here we have the Caliente home. So I've got a little bit of a plan right now, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to split my recordings again, just because as I've done in the last 3 episodes, I've had recordings where my sims are like from the past, where I took the recording like ages ago and did it where I did that one first, and then I would do the current recording that I'm doing in like right now. So that was an option. The other option also was that I do it the opposite way. So like I start with my recording and then end with the old recording, which I also did. But for this specific family, there's quite a bit to go through that is related to now rather than the past. The past is actually less, like there's less of a story in the past. So what I'm going to do, because this is a story on the Calientes, I'm going to explain the Caliente, Nina Caliente first through that old footage. Alright, so we'll cut here and we'll go through the old footage, and then afterwards I'll go through the current footage, because there's quite a bit of drama that needs to be recapped right now rather than later. But the De La Rosa household consists of Florence De La Rosa, who is who passed away, let me see, I think it was natural causes. Yeah, she was old. She was just old. Simply because of her old age. So if you know, Florence De La Rosa is a Blue Water Village townie, and she has like her own little flower shop, which I felt was really cute, and I really wanted her to come into our world because she ended up romancing Nina Caliente. So Nina and Florence were not interested in having children. Nina was pretty much just romancing everybody all the time. You can't really tell because I think she fell out of love with a bunch of them, or I like got her to fall out of love with them. But this is my Nina Caliente. She's quite close to passing away. Her life was full of different careers. So she was a ballerina for a little bit. But then she got kicked out because I don't remember. She just did something bad in I don't know. And then she was a slacker, and then at the same time, simultaneously, she was also writing books. So she's had like quite a bit of a life, like in her, or like quite a bit of experiences under her belt. And in their elderhood, they ended up adopting Genesis. So Genesis is she's Genesis De La Rosa because Nina was not interested in having kids at all, but Florence did want a child, so she ended up adopting her. And Genesis is currently pregnant with Brooklyn's child, if I'm correct. Yep. So she is a little bit, and like the thing is, she's not interested in him that much. Like, she only has one bolt with him. It was like an autonomous woohoo that I did not queue up for them, and she got under 15 for her role, and so I impregnated her. So Yeah. All right, and welcome back. So this is the current recording again. What we are going to do is we're going to be recapping what's happening now. So what you guys had seen was Genesis de la Rosa, and she is currently not in this household. She was pregnant, and she ended up having her child in her teenagehood, Flora Nina. So kind of a mixture of both Nina Caliente and Florence de la Rosa. And I ended up changing, can I not? I think I've had this issue on multiple occasions. They ended up changing their last names for everybody to the Caliente last names just because I was a little bit annoyed by the fact that I didn't have any Calientes like in the big name. So all of their kids are Caliente kids. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Does not think that this is the kind of family should be associated with such a fine situation. I didn't even start. Oh my gosh, hold on. I didn't even realize. Do you want to start save your game? No. I didn't even realize that started. I guess we're playing that through right now. It's a little bit stressful actually to play that through. But she ended up having Nina Caliente, or Flora Nina Caliente. And you'll notice that Genesis, is not present in the household currently. And there's a very interesting reason for that. But let me just recap on what she did. She didn't end up going to college, nor did Brooklyn. Brooklyn wasn't interested in going to college, so he was like, I don't really care. He didn't go to college, which kind of disappointed the rest of the Goth family. However, Nina and I think Nina was alive at the time. I actually can't remember. Wasn't really like bothered by the fact, and she still supported her daughter, and especially with her teenage pregnancy, she needed that extra support. So they ended up, accepting that and taking in Brooklyn after I think he was not a teenager anymore. I think they actually ended up getting, I can't remember if they got married or not. I don't think they did. Now, they turn into adults and she has her kid, and then she has what I have in my history, a more difficult pregnancy with Florinina in her kind of teenagehood, because she's a teen, she was like younger, it was a more difficult pregnancy, but she still wanted to have more kids, and she ended up having, what did I name you? Kalia? I feel like it should have been Kala. No, it's not an L. Yeah, it's Kala, not Kalia. I read it as C-L-I-A, and I was like, C-A-L-I-A, but it's actually Calla, which I think is also a floral kind of name. So they ended up having Kala, which was a smoother pregnancy. Now, unfortunately, again, you'll notice that Genesis is gone, and the reason for that is because she is dead. As you can tell here, Flora Nina wants to resurrect Genesis. Why is she dead, might you ask? She actually ended up dying in childbirth. Okay, now, let's review. I had this mod for probably like pretty much half of like my entire existence in The Sims 2. I've had this mod. However, I only just realized that it might be one of those mods where you have to run it later. So it has to be like one of the last mods to run in your mods folder. So I put an X at the beginning of the mods and I let them run it last in line. And immediately I noticed that the mod is working now, because this mod, it's supposed to give miscarriages as well as death and childbirth. So I was getting, for my Sims that had like lower, what do you call it? Like they had like low needs, they would get threats that they were about to like have a miscarriage or whatever. So so I was getting those, and I was like, okay, you know what? It's fine. It'll be okay. And I wasn't super worried about Genesis's pregnancy, because she was totally like healthy. She didn't have many issues. She was also really young. Like it wasn't like, I also changed my pregnancy curve because my aging is different. It's big. I have like a longer age span, so I changed this is like really loud, but I think it's better. Okay, let me just do this really quickly. Greet him. So stop what you're doing, because I think I just forgot about him. Um, so I ended up finally getting this mod to work. I didn't think it was going to have an issue with Genesis, so I let her do her thing and have her pregnancy. And she gives birth to twins. So I'm paused at this point, right? Okay, we're over here. I think I took some screenshots or a video or something. So imagine, we're over here, she's having her beautiful little home birth, even though she's been told that she's going to have a higher risk pregnancy. But you know what? She didn't have an issue with Kala, so why should she have an issue? However, it was unexpected twins, okay? So Afton and Dayton, I don't know if that's how you're supposed to say those names, but I don't say them aloud. I say them in my brain, so it doesn't really matter. They ended up being born, and I had my game paused because I was like shocked. I was shook, okay? We were greatly confused. The moment I unpause the game, Genesis drops to the floor, okay? Crippled to the floor, and I'm shocked. Again, my jaw is agape. The Grim Reaper shows up out of nowhere, might I add. Again, she drops to the floor, Grim Reaper shows up, and I'm like, oh my god, she's dying. Now, keep in mind, this is the first pregnancy delivery that I've had with this mod. So I'm out here thinking something is not right, like the mod is whatever, like I did something wrong, but you know what? This is such a cool, like, storyline to play out with. So yes, that's what happened. Genesis is now dead. So Brooklyn is a single father. They did get married, actually, now that I realize, because he took her last name. So they did end up getting married. So Brooklyn is now a single father, Brooklyn Gloth. He is trying to maintain the household. They have twin babies, okay? Twin babies. Can you imagine, like, how difficult that is with two people, like two parents, let alone one? Okay, so yeah, it's like kind of been rough out here, but they've got a beautiful home. They've got beautiful like resources, like they can hire maids and whatever, and they've got lots of money, so it's really not that much of an issue. So let's go ahead. I guess we're gonna play out this this, what do you call it? Like little mini game, the headmaster mini game. Now, Brooklyn doesn't have a cooking skill. However, he has been working on his cooking skill the moment that his wife died. He was like immediately, okay, like I guess, oh, maybe don't go in there actually. I mean, whatever. So yeah, he's not as happy about that one. Let's go upstairs because the house up here is really nice. And yeah, like that's currently what we're playing through, is like that kind of like single father. She is actually, let me just double check that I'm not saying the wrong person. Oh, sorry if you can hear that really loud. So Carson broke. Let's just say, okay, so she's actually attracted, or she was, maybe not anymore. I don't really understand what's going on here. She was attracted to her cousin. Okay, now he's not directly her cousin. She was attracted to Carson Broke. She was kind of interested in having some type of romantic relationship with him, and I was very, very shocked because they're related, but not that, but also because we've reached that point now. I'm like kind of like, oh my god, seriously, this is happening, where the people are related and they don't know they're related. Like the game does not recognize him as her cousin, of like extended cousin or whatever. So who knows, maybe they're, I don't know what's gonna happen, but let's go through. So Flora Nina is, her father is Brooklyn. His father is Alexander, so Florinina's grandfather. His aunt, her grand aunt, so Florinina's grand aunt, her daughter's son. So they're like the same distance away from their grandparents as each other. That's 1, 2, right? 1, 2. Yeah, they're the same. Like they're like 2 away from grandparenthood, I guess. I don't really know how that works exactly. Like, is that like second cousin once removed? I don't know these things, but they're definitely related. Let me quickly pause again. Sorry guys, this is like kind of very disjointed, but I'm just like double checking everything. So let's see if I have a little blurb for Florinina. So Florinina was devastated by her mother's passing. The night of her birthday, the twins came so viciously that they took their mother away. Now she has to navigate being a new teenager without her mom, which is kind of devastating. And then, let's see, did Brooklyn have something? Brooklyn never expected that his wife would die in childbirth. Though the unexpected twins are a blessing, he can't help but feel devastated that his wife is gone. He really has to step up now and raise his 4 kids. Now, the other kind of dramatic thing that was happening was that Brooklyn actually was going to, essentially, he was like seconds away from cheating on his wife. Because if we remember from the Broke episode, okay, hold on, how do I... Quick pause again, sorry guys. Quick pause of my entertained call for dinner. So if we remember from the Broke episode, he actually was in the past dating Harper Pleasant. So Harper Pleasant, the daughter of Angela Pleasant and Dustin Broke, he was dating her, and she is currently dating his sister Belle, but she also dated pretty much all of his siblings. So she dated Andrea, she dated Belle. I don't remember if she dated Chandler, but she might have, and she absolutely dated Chandler. Brooklyn. So yeah, it's a little bit kind of like chaotic. So I'm not sure, maybe he'll get with her at some point, but she's kind of a romance sim, and I think he has some like romantic tendencies, like romance sim tendencies in him. But not to like, I don't know. I didn't think that it was going to be to the extent that he would cheat, but clearly he proved me wrong. Alright, so let's go ahead and have you work on your happiness now, and we'll see. We might have to do a little bit of schmoozing because we don't have, like, he's not very good at food, right? Like, his food skill is not that high, so we might have to do a little bit of schmoozing. Well, we'll see. But yeah, otherwise, that's pretty much, like, the end of that kind of section. We'll finish this off, and then we'll see if they get into private school, because they're definitely goths and like Calientes. Like, these are big names. They should be in private school, but they might not end up getting into private school because, like, honestly, I thought that their home was gonna do it, but like the tour sometimes just does it on its own. Who knows? We'll find out in a second. And otherwise, yeah, I think right now he has the slacker. Yeah, he wants to be a professional slacker. He's not really interested in work, I think. He wasn't interested in work nor school, yeah. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Come on, sir. Oh yeah, we did it. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh wow, okay. The food points actually did quite a bit. I'm surprised. Like, their home is so stunning. Other things to note that I thought were really sweet was the kind of slight touches in their home of like Asian, like Oriental kind of furniture, and the touches of Florinina in this home, because I kind of, or not Florinina, sorry, Florence. Even though her name doesn't really indicate it, she kind of like gave me like Eastern Asian vibes, or like Southeast Asian vibes. So I have her piano, which is like, she was super like musical oriented. So was Genesis, honestly. Genesis was a big musician near the end of her life. She's also like a gardener, so their garden is like really thriving. But yeah. Otherwise, thank you for helping us through this tour. This will be quite a short episode, I think, for the Calientes, just because their family really isn't that big. We'll see where it goes. I completely neglected these babies. Oh my gosh. Let me go ahead and feed them. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.